They're not only character assassinating Trump, they're not only attacking Trump as a dictator, attacking Trump as a man who would destroy our Constitution, attacking Trump as a criminal, on and on and on. They want to put him in prison. We've never seen anything like this in American history, ever. So Biden meets with Obama to shift his campaign strategy. Now, Obama, of course, is a Marxist. Obama, of course, does hate America. Obama, in many ways, like these people in other countries, has become enormously wealthy, as has Michelle, off the system, and yet attacks the system, because that's how he becomes enormously wealthy. So he lives way up here while claiming to worry about the people down here. And he doesn't believe in our constitutional republic. He doesn't believe in our Declaration. He used to rewrite it effectively, taking references to God out of it. If you're a Marxist, you have to hate our founding, our founders, our Declaration, and our Constitution, because they get in the way. They get in the way. Woodrow Wilson taught us that, and so did others over 100 years ago. And so Obama wants to give Biden advice, because he knows that in his heart, Biden is an idiot. But he has surrounded Biden with all of his comrades, and Biden has leaned on them for advice, whether it's Blinken or Sullivan or all the others, in domestic affairs as well. And Biden is the puppet dummy, really, in front of all this, and they actually help him believe that he's actually responsible. He's a leader. He's like FDR. Let's take a look at this. Biden meets with Obama as he shifts campaign strategy, and the campaign strategy is the same strategy they used in 1964, as I explained on the radio the other day, against Barry Goldwater. Goldwater was a good man. He was a happy man. He was loved by his fellow senators, Democrats and Republicans. He was a libertarian conservative, if you will. Barry Goldwater had a stellar civil rights record before he even came into government. He founded the Air National Guard in Arizona and ensured that it was integrated. He integrated the Goldwater department stores, which he inherited from his family. He was a member of the NAACP of Arizona. He helped found the Urban League in Arizona. When it was going broke, he provided it with significant funds out of his own pocket. Barry Goldwater voted for every single Civil Rights Act up to 1964, where for civil libertarian reasons, he argued, he could not agree that the federal government would have this kind of power. So he didn't vote against it because he was one of these Democrat segregationists, like Eastland or Stennis or Robert Byrd, who led the filibuster, all of whom befriended and became mentors for Joe Biden. He opposed it on philosophical grounds. I think he was wrong on philosophical grounds, but he didn't have a racist bone in his body. But that's not the way the campaign played out. It's amazing. Lyndon Johnson was a racist, a segregationist. He threw the N-word around all the time. He led filibusters against every single Civil Rights Act except the 1964 Act, and yet he fought a similar Civil Rights Act while he supported the 64 Civil Rights in his own state of Texas. Because Lyndon Johnson played the media knew it, but the media liked his domestic agenda, which was full-throated socialism. Lyndon Johnson only supported the 1964 Civil Rights Act because, as he told others, he wanted to consider running for president again. And he only supported the 1957 Civil Rights Act because he wanted to run for president back then. And even his biographers, two of them, including Robert Caro, have written about this, that his views on civil rights were incredibly cynical. And the great FDR, according to the left, one of their great heroes, of course, his civil rights record is disastrous. He wouldn't even sign in 1940 the anti-lynching law that hit his desk, a bipartisan law. And I should add that Lyndon Johnson voted against, during his time in the Senate, a federal anti-lynching law. But all of these people are praised and promoted. And there's Barry Goldwater, because he stands up to this, who is destroyed in the media. The media had nothing good to say about him. They would cherry pick his phrases. They would twist them. They tried to make him look like Hitler. They called him Hitler. He was the second Hitler. There was Hitler, and then there was Barry Goldwater. And there was a famous, infamous commercial, black and white, about the dropping of an atomic bomb, where a little girl is plucking the petals off of a daisy, paid for by Johnson and the Democrat Party, the countdown, 10, 9, 8, and that was aimed at Barry Goldwater.
8, 9, 9.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
These are the stakes. To make a world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark. We must either love each other, or we must die.
Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
So Barry Goldwater was Hitler. Barry Goldwater was a dictator. Lyndon Johnson they protected, even though his record was so horrific when it came to race and so forth. Even though he expanded the war in Vietnam, Goldwater didn't. And of course, Goldwater lost in a landslide, and he probably would have lost anyway because of the assassination of John Kennedy. Goldwater had wanted to run against Kennedy. And Goldwater made a mistake that Trump does not. Goldwater didn't fight back on personal grounds. He said, this is a campaign of ideas. If they want to be in the gutter, that's up to them. So they crushed him. They're doing the same thing with Trump now, except worse. They're not only character assassinating Trump, they're not only attacking Trump as a dictator, attacking Trump as a man who would destroy our Constitution, attacking Trump as a criminal, on and on and on. They want to put him in prison. We've never seen anything like this in American history, ever. Local Democrat district attorneys, a state Democrat attorney general, a special prosecutor, Democrat for the DOJ in the Biden administration. And as I've made clear, Biden's speeches about democracy and so forth, and basically comparing Trump to Hitler and his supporters to stormtroopers, that would be, 80 million people. That is the playbook that they used against Barry Goldwater to crush him, and the media promoted it while they protected Johnson the way they're protecting Joe Biden. But also Biden is communicating, as I've said, with prosecutors, Democrat judges, and the Democrat jury pool all over the country, particularly in our inner cities, and he's telling them, convict this man. We cannot risk having Hitler in the White House. They hear it. Do anything you have to do. Move up the trials. Deny him due process. Deny him the effective representation at counsel. Doesn't matter. Everything and anything you can do, you prosecutors, you judges, you potential jurors, you must do to stop Donald Trump from becoming president of the United States. That's the other message he's sending out.
Want to see more Mark Levin? Go to levintv.com and subscribe now.